Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Design Experts. A little bit different today. My name's Christine Holt and we haven't met yet. I'm usually behind the scenes, but I am one of the Kitchen Design Expert team members. And what we thought we'd do today is answer some of the most common questions that people ask when they come into our showroom. It's probably going to turn into just a long conversation really, because that's what tends to happen when someone comes in for the first time. Possibly we're even the first showroom they've come into. And then if you like this kind of format, we can continue to do it, because obviously we won't get all the questions answered today. But if you have some specific questions that you want to be answered, send them in to us and we'll do another video just answering your specific questions. Okay, are you ready, guys?
I'll go for it.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be the client and I'm coming to the showroom. So I'm looking for a kitchen, but I have no idea. The last time I bought a kitchen was probably about 30 years ago. Where do I start?
I mean, really, you don't know what you don't know at this stage. So you're doing the right thing, going round to a handful of places to start to get a feel, not just for what style you want, but the market of kitchens in general, because it is vast. And you need to start getting a feel for how much money you want to spend and what you'll be getting for that money in each place that you go to.
So shopping around really is our best advice. Sometimes if you've got the patience, 3 or 4 showrooms, and start to listen to what they have to say. And also when you're talking to somebody in a showroom, have a look and ask yourself the question, do you think I can get on with this person? Am I going to be able to design my kitchen with this person? Because in our business, people matter sometimes just as much as the furniture that you're buying.
Well, for me, probably even more so.
There you go.
It's good to be able to work with someone, especially when you are not familiar with what you're supposed to be asking about or the different terms. So, for example, worktops. There seems to be so many different types of worktops. What do I do about that? I know what I don't want, but I don't know what I do want.
Like most people.
Yeah. So how do we go
just
about that?
on Worktops specifically, and I'll be doing this quite a bit because we've got previous videos really diving deep into things specifically. So on Worktops we have this past video. But what I would say with things like worktops, obviously ask what type of worktops are being sold, but as a rule of thumb, if you go into a good company, they're going to have a lot of good materials, and they all have pros and cons. But to start with, be entirely led by aesthetics and cost with things like worktops, and let that be the driving factor. But then once you've picked one, then by all means start to delve into the real nitty-gritty of it and the pros and cons of it. But at the beginning stages, go for cost and aesthetics.
In fact, one of the questions you've got to ask yourself really, I think, is based on a laminate worktop to begin with, you'd obviously pay more for the more specialist worktops like quartz, granite and corian. Ask yourself the question, or ask the question, what am I getting for that extra expense? And if you think that what you're getting is value to you, then that worktop is worth it to you. But if you're not getting something that you really want, why spend more money on it? What you need is help from the showroom that you're going to, and they should be able to guide you the right way when it comes to worktops.
So let's say I've decided I know what I want and I place an order. How long does it take before I actually get the kitchen, and how long does it take to install it once?
Depends a lot on the type of kitchen that you're buying, doesn't it, really? I mean, if it's a mass-produced, off-the-shelf kitchen, certain makes can actually, we could go and buy one for you next week. But if you're looking for a more custom-made designer kitchen, especially if it comes from the continent, you can wait anything up to 16 weeks for that.
And I must say, just at the moment, obviously this being 2022 and there's the pandemic and other things going on.
No chips.
No chips. There's no chips. No chips. Obviously that massively affects delivery times as well, so it's worth asking the question.
But added to the actual delivery time or manufacturing time, you must factor in the time it takes to do a proper kitchen design. Because with us in particular, we can end up doing 3-4 designs for people before they actually say, yes, that's it, it's the right cost, that's what I want to spend, that's the perfect design for us. So basically, you must factor in, I would suggest, at least a month to 6 weeks for the design process, and then you've got your delivery after that.
So when do I actually have to choose what colour I want, for example, or what flooring I want, or...
Over to Josh.
Well, for me, again, this does depend slightly on what type of company you're going for. If you are going for off the shelf, then yes, you need to know that that company has something that you like, because then you don't want to go throughout the whole design process and then realise they've not got anything that's in your style or something that can...
Is that because the off-the-shelf ranges are a
smaller range? Yeah, so
actual
if
choice
you go
of
for
colours
something
available?
like custom made, then for example, one of our kitchen suppliers has got about 4,000 different combinations of kitchen. So there will be a colour and style that you like. So we like to say that you prioritise that design, the layout, make it sure it's going to work for you, and obviously the cost as well. And then the colours are the nice bit at the end. Get a cup of tea and spend an hour with us, and then just kind of...
Right, because I was going to say, it can be overwhelming when you know that there's so much available.
Absolutely.
Do you give guidance in terms of...
I mean, you can cancel quite a lot of that 4,000, can't you?
Oh, you can. In fact, I can cancel 3,000.
Well, because lots of people, like we said, know what they don't like, so you
Yeah.
can discount a lot of things straight away, can't you?
But what we find is sometimes people will come in and they'll say, I'm looking for a shaker kitchen. And we'll say, that's fine, that's great, we've got numerous colours, we do shaker kitchens, no problem. And then when we actually present the design to people and we show them the perspective drawings of how we've laid the design out and superimposed a shaker door onto it, they'll stand back from it and say, well, you know something, in actual fact, I'd rather fancy a handleless, sleek, flat door. And therefore we'll show them that. And the design, not only how we lay it out, but the styles and the colours, they evolve as you go along the process.
Yeah, so
of
you've
design.
got to be flexible, because you might have an idea in your mind, but then when you see what's actually available, that could be turned on its head. So that's another thing I think to bear in mind.
I'd just like to add that you may come into the place and you may want us to do a lot of the work for you, as in you might just say to us, we like this general style, but it's over to you guys now, make that work. And that's fine. You might have a more specific idea as to what you're after. In fact, some of my friends are just about to have a kitchen off us, and they don't know much about style, but they kind of have an idea of what they like. So I just told them to go through all of Pinterest magazines and just start every kitchen they like, just rip that out and put it together, and then leave it us to, we'll see all those pictures, and a theme will start to come through to us of the type of kitchen style that you like, and then we can realise that in a design for you.
Okay, well, the big one, what's the average price? How much is this going to cost me, and what would that include?
Do not accept how long is a piece of string.
Or half a piece of string. Twice as long as half a piece of string. Yeah. Well, what we're saying is, I mean, a lot of people, when you go into the showrooms, will run away from that question because they don't want to put you off. But there is a genuine answer to how much is an average kitchen, because we know what our average kitchen is. And the problem you've got is, you could walk into somebody's showroom and you say, how much is an average kitchen, including all the cupboards, worktops, a decent set of appliances and fully installed? And one showroom could say, oh, £10,000. And another showroom could say £60,000. So you can see it's a bit of a minefield, really.
Yeah.
And that's where you need to start to do your research to see if you pay more for something, more for your kitchen, what benefits you're getting, either from a quality point of view, a design point of view, or simply a service confidence point of view. It's not easy.
And so, and if I just want you, I have an electrician that I use in my house, and I'd like him to do the electrical work on my kitchen. Can I do that with you? Or do you just fit everything, or
well,
how
you're
does that
specifically
work?
talking about us there, but generally speaking, each company will have a different policy on how much they will allow you to do, whether you buy your own appliances, whether you introduce your own electrician or plasterer. And yes, I mean, we have an open policy. We will let you do as much as you want. If you want to buy your own appliances, that's fine for us.
So that's worth asking a question,
But it's a question
isn't
you
it?
should ask that, definitely. When you go into a
Yeah.
showroom, can I buy my own appliances? Can I have supply only and organise my own fit?
But then the company should help you and guide you in that. If you do get your own electrician, then expect that company to then give them as much information as that electrician needs to make sure that they do everything right, put the light feeds in the right place, and you design a lighting scheme that you think would work with it, and then you can kind of work alongside with whoever you're working with on the job as well then.
So just one final question for this video. Once it's all ready and it's arriving, how long does it take you to actually install the kitchen in my house?
How long's a piece of string?
That one's a little more accurate this time, saying how long's a piece of string, because obviously it depends a lot on the company, whether if they are subcontracting their work and they don't use the same guys every week, the same team every week that's installing, the plumber might turn up and then have to wait for the joiner to come, and he can't do his work till the joiner comes, and that's the kind of job that then lasts 2, 3, 4 weeks even. If the company you're using is more like they've got a team that they work solely for them, and they're there all the time as a team each week, they work with each other, that gets done a lot quicker. And the other how long is a piece of string from that is the materials that you're using. Some materials, most stone worktops, for example, compared to laminate worktops, you have to get your whole kitchen fit, and then the stone guys come in and template the kitchen and then make the stone worktops and then come back and fit them. So that adds maybe another week, 10 days, again even 2 weeks sometimes to the job.
But you'll know that before the process starts.
Yes.
You'll know how
Your
long so that you can plan and
should
organise.
tell you that. I think the only thing I would add to the installation side of it all is a golden rule is make sure that whoever is doing your kitchen actually takes full responsibility for the complete fit. So you don't really ideally want a kitchen company to sell you the kitchen and then they say, oh, there's a list of fitters, you can use them if you want. You really, I believe, because it's the installation that's possibly the key part to this job, you want the company you're dealing with ideally to take full responsibility for everything that happens in your house. So if there's a problem, and I hasten to add there are often problems, you know exactly
Challenges.
Challenges, yes, or solutions, yeah. But basically, you want one person to go back to if possible, because it makes your life a lot easier and gives you 100% confidence then.
Okay, so respecting your time, we'll stop it there for this video. But as I said, if you want us to do more in this format, let us know in the comments box down below.
Of which there are many more questions that could be asked or that we feel should be asked.
Yeah, and certainly, as I said at the beginning, if you have any specific questions yourself, then send those in to us and we'll do a video just on viewers' questions. Until then,
it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from all of us.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.